You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're getting right into it, focusing on a character who's, well, pretty much the bedrock of 911, Captain Bobby Nash.
Played brilliantly by Peter Krause, of course.
Exactly. And we know people aren't just looking for plot points, especially with characters they really care about. There's all this buzz, speculation.
About his future on the show.
Right. So our mission today, let's really unpack Bobby's whole story arc, Krause's performance, and dig into why fans are so worried he might be leaving. We've got some great material to work from here.
Yeah, and it's fascinating, isn't it? The level of emotional investment viewers have with Bobby.
Totally.
You see those online searches everywhere. Why did Bobby leave 9/11? Is Peter Krause leaving? It just screams how central he is.
It really does. Okay, so Captain Bobby Nash, he's not just the guy in charge, is he? He's more than the captain.
Oh, much more.
His past, that trauma, it really shapes how he leads. It gives him this deep empathy, makes him the moral compass for Station 118, you know?
Definitely. And you can't separate Bobby from Peter Krause's portrayal.
Right.
He brings this quiet intensity. You feel the history.
Yeah, that weight, but also the commitment, that drive to save people despite everything.
And that backstory is key, isn't it? The fire that killed his family. That's not just history, it informs everything.
Everything. His leadership, how he connects with victims.
His empathy, absolutely. And also that constant fear, that fear of losing more people. It's always there.
And Krause just nails conveying that, often without a single word, a look, a sigh. It's all there.
He carries it so well, it makes Bobby feel incredibly real.
He leads with compassion, not just authority. You see it in how the team trusts him, how they rely on him in those insane situations.
Yeah, that trust is huge. And thinking about Krause's background.
Oh, yeah, like 6 feet under, Karen Hood.
Exactly. You can almost see how those roles, playing complex, emotional characters, sort of prepared him for Bobby. He brings layers.
It's not just reacting in the moment. He brings that whole history into every scene.
So, you mentioned the subtlety. What specific things in Krause's performance really make Bobby stand out for you, beyond the big dramatic stuff?
For me, it's how much he says when he's not speaking. You know, a long look, the way he holds himself sometimes.
The nonverbal communication.
Exactly. It makes Bobby feel so grounded, even when things are completely chaotic. And you can't talk about Bobby without talking about Athena.
No, absolutely not. Angela Bassett, their chemistry.
It's the emotional anchor of the whole show, isn't it? She's his rock, provides that stability.
She really does. It's crucial for him. And thinking about Bobby's core traits, resilience is a big one.
Huge, after everything he's been through.
Right. But it's not like he doesn't feel it. It seems more like a conscious decision every day to keep going, to keep fighting.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And the empathy, again, it comes straight from his own loss.
Clearly. He just gets suffering in a way others might not. It's more than just doing the job.
It's about connecting, offering that understanding, but you still feel that shadow, don't you?
Oh, yeah. The guilt. The fear of loss resurfacing. Krause shows that vulnerability just under the captain persona.
He does it so well. And Bobby's journey, his evolution over the seasons, has been pretty significant.
It really has. He started out so haunted, almost self-destructive in a way. And gradually he's found his way back. Through the job, yes, but also through those relationships.
And Athena's role in that can't be overstated. She gave him that love, that stability he desperately needed.
You see him start to, well, live again.
Yeah. And his leadership changed too, didn't it? It matured.
Definitely. Went from just giving orders to being a real mentor. A father figure almost.
Especially to Buck and Eddie. He's really invested in them, in the whole team. He learned to trust them, rely on them.
Which brings us back to why people worry, I think. That constant threat of loss.
Yeah.
It's woven into his story.
It really is. The job is just so dangerous. They're always in peril.
It constantly echoes his past trauma, doesn't it? And fuels that protectiveness he has over his crew.
And Krause is amazing at showing that fear simmering underneath, even when Bobby's trying to be the calm leader.
You feel it as a viewer. You're on edge with him.
Wondering, is this the call that changes everything?
Which leads us straight into those rumors, the fan speculation, those search terms we mentioned. Why did Bobby leave? Is Peter Krause leaving?
Yeah, they show real anxiety out there. People are genuinely concerned about losing him.
Understandably. He's so central.
And these worries spike during those really intense moments, right? The cliffhangers where his life is on the line.
Oh, definitely. We've seen him in so many dangerous spots.
Like, remember that building collapse back in season 3?
Yeah. Or the hostage situation.
That was intense.
Yeah.
Plus his own past health struggles tied to addiction.
Right. In those moments, it feels entirely possible that he might not make it. The show makes it feel real.
It does, which makes you wonder, are these close calls just for drama, or are they, like, hinting at something more permanent?
That's the question fans are wrestling with, I think. Is the show setting up an exit?
And it's not just about him dying in the line of duty, is it? There's also his internal struggle.
Exactly. He's talked about the toll the job takes.
Yeah.
The constant trauma.
We've seen him seriously think about retiring, wanting that peace with Athena.
And Krause plays that weariness so well. That longing for just a normal life, maybe?
Yeah, it makes the idea of him leaving voluntarily seem, well, plausible, even if fans would hate it.
But the ultimate fear for many seems to be his death. Those searches like, does Bobby die in 9/11? Bobby Nash death.
Oof. Yeah, that shows how high the stakes feel.
His death wouldn't just be sad. It would be, like the sources say, a seismic event for the show.
Absolutely. Think about Athena.
Devastating.
And Buck. And Eddie. He's become such a guide for them.
It would change the entire dynamic of the 118, the whole show, fundamentally.
It just highlights how much he holds things together, not just as the captain, but emotionally.
For the characters and, yeah, for the audience, too.
So, wrapping this up a bit, we've really covered a lot of ground with Bobby Nash.
We have his resilience, his empathy.
The impact of his past, how he's grown from this haunted guy to a really hopeful leader.
And how that constant threat of loss, which Krause portrays so effectively, keeps fans on edge about his future.
Right. So hopefully everyone listening has a better sense of why he resonates so much, why people are so invested, and frankly, worried.
It goes way beyond the emergencies. It's his journey, his strength, that makes the thought of him leaving so tough.
Definitely. So here's something to chew on as we finish. Thinking about everything Bobby's been through, all the storylines, what do you think will be the most fitting or maybe the most impactful way for his story to go next?
That's a great question to leave people with.
It is. Plenty to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.